Циганка ворожка сміялась надо мною, зарученяку брала, качала головою. Зарученяку брала.
Welcome to Healing Wisdom. I'm Pandora Peoples, and today we're speaking with Natalia Talentso of the Murmurosi Quartet, a uniquely enchanting ensemble that weaves together Ukrainian polyphonic vocal textures and new musical compositions rooted in folklore traditions from the Carpathian Mountains to the Greek islands. Today we're talking about their new album, Svitanok, which means dawn in Ukrainian. Natalia, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
So your new album mixes traditional Ukrainian folklore and traditional Ukrainian melodies with contemporary stories. And I'd love for you to tell us how you developed this album and how the project started.
Well, thank you for asking. So basically, this album Svitanok, which means dawn in Ukrainian, is collection that inspired by traditional polyphonic a cappella songs. But we took liberty with this quartet to add our own instrumentation and arrangements and melodies and mix it with rhythms and melodies that are traditional not only to Ukraine but to other places from the Eastern Europe and even Greek islands. We have a little bit of oud recorded on the album. So we took a bit of a creative artistic liberty with that, and really each of our musicians, they added a little bit of their own personality and their own influence. So this is how it all came together the way it is.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by the combination of instruments. Like I was hearing Turkish and Greek and Middle Eastern elements and flavors, and then I was like, what is on here? Oh, it's the oud, it's the bouzouki, it's the banglamas. Beautiful.
Yeah, Josh Greenberg is our guitarist. He's Montreal's own luthier. He makes guitars that he plays and he sells them worldwide. But he also recently took on studying oud, and he went traveling to Greece and Turkey, and he spent in Greece a lot of time learning and practicing from masters there, and that's the flavor that he brings.
I'd love for you to talk about your single and your seventh song. So your second and seventh song on the album, they're both about addressing feelings of returning home after battle. So can you talk about that theme?
Yes, so some of these century-old songs are scary relevant today. And yes, some of these folk stories really reminded me of the situation that is happening right now. So, for example, Yak Pryikhav, Мій маленький з поля, which means when my sweetheart returned from the fields. This folk story basically paints this almost cinematic moment when a man returns home and ties his horse to a fence under the window of his beloved. And he's wondering if he is still welcomed in her heart. And inside the house, she's also thinking and wondering if she should accept somebody else's proposition or she should wait for this person. And she's worried and wondering and asking her mom advice. And so really it's this moment. It's the moment of suspense and this emotional tension. But it's a hopeful moment because in the song, the man says, I can't wait till the evening to send my engagement party to ask for her hand. So it's hopeful. We don't know what happened yet. But the emotion, the tension that is there, it reminded us of how there are so many people now, so many families, friendships, just like are torn apart by this war some people are at front lines, some people had to just escape abroad. And I feel there is the same tension and emotion of people wondering about their relationship. Is it going to be there for them when they're back, or how can they sustain it, and how they can build? And we wish for them that people get reunited and people stay hopeful. They are able to build and continue their relationship. Either it's family or just love or even friendship, or is it parents, or is it children waiting for their parents from the front lines. There is a lot of that suspense right now. There's a lot of that tension, and it's hopeful, but it's heart-wrecking. It's really nerve-wracking. So we wish everybody to be reunited and to be able to manage through this difficult time. And the other song, Чого поле почорніло, which means why fields gone black. The storyline of that song is that there's a falcon sitting on a burned by fire field, on a black stone, and his sister comes by and asks him, why are you sitting here? Why are you not taking up your wings and flying away? Why are you sitting on this burned field? And he answers, well, my sister, because I feel bad. I can spread my wings and take off. And for us, it was a metaphor for people who come back from the front lines, and it's hard for them to just take off their wings and continue on with normal life after living these experiences. It really reminded us of that. But this song is not a song of desperation again. It's not a despair. It's a song of recognition, to draw attention to this, to recognize people who are coming back and people, again, who are waiting for them. Both sides, they have to do a lot of work to help each other out. And again, we wish people who are going through this to be able to spread their wings and be able to fly again. And even in the ashes, there is always hope of new dawn.
Yak Pryikhav, mi маленький з поля,
Can you talk about the choices that you made in terms of the lullabies and the kind of whimsical element that you brought in with the two cat songs and all the sweet stories?
In this album, there are songs with a lot of different moods and emotions. Some of them more take you on a reflective journey. Some of them are more storytelling. There are two folk lullabies. Some of them are probably gonna make you dance. And the first lullaby that opens the album is called Kotiku Sirenki, which means gray cat. And the gray cat is the main character of this lullaby. And there is a playful story how the cat's supposed to put a child to sleep and guard the sleep. But also we incorporated a real folk spell in there, which asked the three stars in the sky and the raven sitting on a stone on the Black Sea to give the child a happy fate, happy future, and protect from the evil. So the mood and the character of this song is on one hand playful, on the other hand it's very mystical. And when you listen to it, you might feel a little bit of a transcendent mood, a transcendent state. But the spell is for happiness.
Не буде дитя.
If you're just joining us now, you're listening to Healing Wisdom. I'm Pandora Peoples, and we're speaking with vocalist Natalia Talentso of Murmurosi, and she's speaking about her band's new album, Svitanok, which means dawn. It combines Ukrainian folk music with contemporary stories. My last question is about the folklore and spells and magic, and it seems to me that a lot of the traditional sort of fairy tales or stories incorporate a deep connection with plants and animals. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So it's true, you're right. Almost every folk song opens up with the first two sentences talking about some sort of setting in the nature. But usually it's a metaphor for what's gonna later happen in the song. Usually it's some symbols for people, like a comparison with a tree or with a bird. And yes, usually just a suggestion what's gonna happen later in the song. But also it just a suggestion how people were connected with nature and with their landscapes and everything that surrounded them. It was very much part of life, and it reflects in the characters of the songs, depending on where people lived, either it's in the mountains or in the valleys or in the steepies or by the sea. All of it has symbolical and methodological and metaphorical meaning, and I find it very fascinating. I find it really fun to discover those meanings, and often people ask me about some things and what does this mean, what does that mean, and I'm glad it sparks their curiosity because that way they learn about this culture, about this language, about this rich methodology, and they even tell me like, oh, this is very interesting. I'm going to go research more and see more what I can find, which is great because honestly, it's been hidden for very, very, very long, but it's such a rich, inspiring well of folklore that it's my passion to share it with the more people possible. And also, I hope that the more people will be interested in it and curious about it and like it, the more there's a ground for it to live on. Because right now with this war, lots of archives are getting destroyed and burned, and publishing houses and just things that carry culture and some physical things that can't be anymore rebuilt are getting destroyed. So it's important for it to survive and live on, because it's not only for Ukrainians, it's our common cultural heritage as a humanity, because it's one of the most ancient cultures. And it's fascinating and worth sharing and cherishing. We can learn a lot from that about us as a humanity as well.
Проводжала мати доньку в чужу
When you were growing up, did your parents share these folklore stories, and did your friends and family? How common is it for people to be connected to their heritage in that way in the modern world for your generation?
It's a good question because I was growing up in a musical family, and my mom is a choir conductor, but I sang a lot of classical Ukrainian composer pieces, which are beautiful and very inspiring. So I grew up more in that environment, and when I was older, I developed my own curiosity about folklore. And I have to say, Ukrainian folklore in Ukraine was not always accessible or available, and often punished and hidden and looked upon as something shameful. Like it has been shameful to speak Ukrainian in Ukraine because of the oppression of our eastern neighbors. So no, it was not very easy to have it around or understand or study or learn. But actually recent generations are revive it more, and it's becoming not only acceptable but appreciated. And when I was growing up, an average Ukrainian person wouldn't know much about this. And now people are out there to learn, they dedicated to understand, to discover, to see what it is. So there is a revival for sure, and I'm very happy to see that. And I'm also excited to share it here in Montreal. I mean, our audience are very multicultural, people with various backgrounds, and really sometimes I see some people keep coming to our concerts and they don't speak Ukrainian, but they start singing along with us, and it's very special to see, you know, because back home people were shamed for these songs and for speaking Ukrainian, and here it's not only beautiful, but people of other cultures enjoy it and wants to participate and share. So it's very special.
That's very special and so wonderful that you can reclaim it.
And there's no better time than right now. And what a great time for everyone to show solidarity and honor that reclamation and reclaim that with you. Your band is Murmurosi, Murmurosi. And your new album, Svitanok, is out now. And folks can find it wherever they get their music. They can find you on Facebook and read more about your new album at elicamilo.com.
Thank you so much for being with us, Natalia.
It's my pleasure.
You've been listening to Healing Wisdom. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. And all of our shows are podcast at WOMR.org.